inside the very world I build. Please help now, 'cause I can't even feel enough to know if I get out. I'm numb to the pain, but hollow without. Floating in a world of glass I can imitate. Got a smile worth its weight when the mirror breaks and someone asks. Round and round, around I go, the spinning makes me ill. A hostage held inside the very world I build. Please help me now, 'cause I can't even feel enough to know if I get out. Will I allow another friend to try and help and fail on my account? I'm numb to the pain and hollow without. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, and if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. What you think about when you're born into a fire.
Alright, we're heading right into the end of the ninth round. Here, I'm Firehawk. I'm joined today by Camps and observing, as always, we have the lovely Aiden heading off onto this match of Spaghetts versus Caracals. The Spaghetts just won their ninth round, so they're going to be choosing to start CT side on the lovely Vertigo. How are you doing, Camps?
Oh, I'm doing great, Firehawk. This looks like a pretty good match we got set up here. It looks like both teams are 4-2 at the moment, so it should be pretty even.
Yeah, I had no idea what the scores are, so I was wondering how you got that both teams were 4-2, and that is a scoreline that can't be even. But you know, I definitely can keep up with what you were saying right there as we head off into the pistol round here. Looks like we have Mechatronic being a bit slow to buy the armor, but all 5 of the Caracals are going to be buying armor, and Honorneys on the Spaghetts is going to be buying a kit and a smoke heading off onto B, so Caracals found the right site to spray down people that have armor. Oh, and that's going to be Honorneys and Razor both going down quickly. That's going to tip side. Leadbone gets to get off the plant. Skimmix gets 1 before going down, but that's still a 4-on-2. So his Heartworm and Penguin flops have to rotate in. Heartworm on the normal rotate, and Penguin Swap's going down on the flank, but Heartworm gets Mechatronic now in a 1v3 pistol round. Pin the big one, spots out Heartworm though, and that's going to be the round going in the way of the Caracals.
Yeah, very solid round there for the Caracals. Couple opening frags, headshots right out of the gate, and then dropping the bomb. Default, very strong first round.
Absolutely. They kept 3 alive and got the bomb plant, so they have a huge economic advantage. We can see Brodog forcing out an AK and utility while the Spaghettis are forced onto a full save rush mid here, which Swayze's most likely going to spot out here pretty quickly. Swayze pick up a few. Gets one, tries to back away, manages to drop down successfully, goes to 32, gets another, tags up a third, and then Mechatronic and Leadbone are on the rotate, so Swayze is the only one going down on that. Really clean anti-eco from the Caracals.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive how Swayze managed to maintain composure there after falling, still pick up a kill, prevent the push down mid.
Yeah, a little bit awkward on hitting the edge of the stairs there, but more than recoverable, especially with being able to drop down and stall out the rest of the round. Though we also are seeing Spaghettis off of that full save. They have a full buy here, and it's unclear for the Caracals if they're expecting it or not at this point. While they're still posturing out on a default here, we see Swayze seems to be their mid-defaulter on their pre-setup part of this round, and we see Leadbone looks to be set up just outside A main.
A lot of peaks, nothing yet. Everybody still holding.
We can see the Caracals starting to head up. They're putting smokes out on mid and A. The bomb's still set up to go B here. Skimmix picks up the first kill on mid and another one onto Mechatronic on A. Now the Caracals are setting up B, but Razor seems to be wary of it now. Just starts to back away as the Molly pops to push him back. That's going to pull and rotate. There's now 3 on site, so it's a 3-on-3 with more coming in as the go down. Tim gets one, Brodog gets another, Omnis gets the refrag, so now it's a 2-on-3. It's 2 on site already. Now it's on a Leadbone in the 1-on-3. He's going to pick up 2 in the spray down. Quick plant, and now it's all on to Heartworm, who at this point has been spotted out. Leadbone picks up a third 1-on-3 clutch to win the round.
Leadbone's got to have some ice cold veins right there. No pressure.
Going into that site take, they lost out both of their lurks on mid and A, but Leadbone just proved that a 2-person spray down and then winning out the duel at the end just means that was always a 3-on-3 the whole time, and pushes Spaghettis onto a pistol force.
The CTs are still playing default spots, even with pistols. They're not pushing mid this time, so it looks like they're playing it a little bit safer.
With how fast the rotates are on Vertigo, they can afford to take these gambles, and as Heartworm goes down, it's going to be interesting watching Spaghettis as they try and set up to be able to rotate a little bit faster. We see Honor Knees actually heading over to mid even to get just that extra step closer in case Penguin goes down. And that's going to tell them they have to swap sites here, because that means Bomb is going to be going up on ramp. We can see their Skimmix and Honor are running over to already be on site, and Razor's already swapping over, and Bomb isn't even down yet. They're going to have all of the people in Spaghettis on site before the bomb's down, looks like.
Looks like Swayze's getting really aggressive here with his positioning.
Well, he can't afford to. He's from pistol, so you just want to be the one to swing first to throw off the defense. You don't want to give them a headshot, and he certainly denies it against Razor as well. Clean 5-0 for the Caracals, and they've gotten 4 rounds so far in the half and have kept Spaghettis locked out. see, Mecha and Tim are defaulting towards A. Again, Swayze is at mid. But the Caracals are leaving B a little bit looser. They're going to take a bit more time. Let Razor have complete control. They're going to respect it this round. They seem to be on the idea that Spaghetti can afford a full force into this. But they are posturing more towards A. They completely left mid and they now have a 2-3 setup. But Razor's going to be swinging in bottom ramp, and that's going to give up a pick to Swayze. Now that they've gotten that pick onto A, it's a 2-2 set of Penguin's going to swing out and catch the information, catch the bomb. Now it's on to Heartworm to try and stall for time. Try and delay. He's going to pick up one. Spraying down another part way. Skims is going to pick up the kill onto Penguin. Now Tim, the big one's going to be able to get down the plant. It's now going to be 3 on 2 post as Honornies just tries to run away. They now know it's only 2 on site and 1 left behind on B who's going to be running behind them. So if they can run in fast, they can actually get the defuse in before the rotate even happens. Speaking of, Skimx and Honornies taking it back, and then it's all on Swayze on the flank, but Honornies is already on the bomb. Already has kit, and it's just too late. You can't even get the shot off in time. Will Honornies pick up the kill after round? Not quite. Looks like they're both going to be making it through the next round. Spaghetti's on the board.
Yeah, that's a really rough way to lose that round, but good thing for the Spaghettis there, picking up their first one. I feel like I had more I should have said there.
Yeah, picking up that first one really turns this into a game of struggling against a losing tide to now you have momentum on your side. The moment you bring someone who has a winning streak back, it pushes the momentum game into being a really hard toss-up. Whoever wins this one pushes the other one to more economic problems, but the Spaghettis already have loss bonus, so they can recover faster than the Caracals can. Could be almost
Oh
forced
wow,
force.
and the
Oh my
Molly
gosh,
is not
Penguin.
touching Penguin.
Oh, he gets the headshot angle. That's going to be a kill onto Swayze. Skimmix doesn't even go down from that spray. Was able to back up in time. So now it's going to be 5-1 for the Spaghettis. And they're just postured towards A now. Are they going to... Oh, okay. Their spikes Molly misses. So now Skimmix is going to know that there's a weakness right behind, but isn't watching for it yet. Assuming there's going to be utility, but it just doesn't come, and Mecha gets the kill through the wall. Oh my gosh, Heartworm just taking that smoke. Leadbone picks up the refrag though. Now it's a 3-on-3 on the site. Penguin Fox getting ready to just run through. Leadbone dodges that flash, is being safe, not peeking out on Anise, who's just trying to watch for you. As Penguin Flops walks up, trying to put out some feelers, try and find one, does find Tim, but Leadbone's there to pick it up, and another one. Now it's all onto Razor. Leadbone's already at 3 in the round, and he only has a flash and a smoke to win it out from here. You have to throw a flash to fake it. Now they know it's a fake, and they were on crossfires for you. Brodog cleans it up. Now 5-1 for the Caracals.
Yeah, that's a tough call there. I don't know if you stick that against 2, but I'm not sure his positioning was going to help him out. Especially turning his back there to side hall.
Yeah, he did turn his back from side hall to check the smoke from those footsteps right next to him. Thought it was going to be the more pressing risk, but unfortunately the risk was on both sides there. Now it's another pistol by. Razor's going to spot out 1B, but doesn't look like the Spaghettis are quite convinced yet. They are still keeping 3 on A, while Heartworm gets tagged down by Mechatronic, shot in the leg by the op there. And now it's going to be Swayze actually picking up the first kill onto Skimmix. Now heading in on the lure kill, but ready for Razor, or hits that free fire. And now it's going to be Heartworm running into Swayze. That's going to be picked up as well. He's the next one to find someone. Getting just a shot on the big one before backing up. Picks up the kill on to Tim, but Swayze's once again got a fourth on for the ace, but Penguin Flops is not on that angle, heading towards Mechatronic first.
There's not really much to save here for Penguin. Maybe just hitting some exit frags and picking up a gun. Might be the best he can make of this round.
Hiding just outside B main where you're most likely to get an exit, but at this point, the Caracals know that going towards CT is their safe route, and they don't want to risk their op here. Oh my gosh, though. Penguin Flops does catch out Mechatronic. That gets the op down. That's huge for Spaghettis. And Leadbone can't run in. That op's just going to fly off the map after round. It's unsavable. And there
Penguin denying the ace
right
as
off
well.
Well, Swayze tried to go for it right after round. But yeah, denied the ace, got rid of the op, though. Looks like, no, they aren't quite able to get it back, the Caracals. They're wanting to keep a safe round of extra buy in the bag, especially as they're going up against the Spaghettis, who are back onto a buy. They're onto a save buy rotation, so they have to swap off and be ready for losing another round here. Caracals have gotten a lot of space on ramp. The Spaghettis aren't really able to challenge it with how rare they have a buy. They don't know how to safely challenge it against the Caracals. But Skimmix and Penguin Flops together know how to safely challenge mid and B. That's now a 5-on-3 off of an op and an M4 getting picks on the map, which forces the Caracals to go where they still have map control. They're all going to be running up A. Majority of command 3. Harm goes down to Mecha. Razor as well. Clean double kill, but Skimmix has the wallbang. Where the... Okay, it looks like that was just a wallbang. Picks up another onto Leadbone. Now it's all on Brodog. Has to get 3 on the round. Starts off by trying to get the spray onto Skimmix, but isn't quite able to get it before Penguin Flops can spray him down. That's going to be a second for the Spaghettis. But the Caracals chose the right option. They do still have a buy in this round.
So I was a little surprised there that Mech came away from that flash without being blind at all. Was still able to pick up 2 kills there on A.
Yeah, really intelligent positioning. Was able to see the flash coming and look away, and then look right back on the right timing to end up making the flash an advantage rather than a disadvantage. Heading into it, looks like we see a pause. Looks like it was a tactical, as it was longer than a 15-second, or I'm not sure what type of pause that was actually. It looked like it lasted about 15 seconds there before going back into it, so most likely it was the Caracals putting a pause to try and make sure that they can deny a second round win for the Spaghettis and put them back onto a pistol. Again, they don't want to put multiple rounds in a row in their hands. Looks like they've decided to put a bit lighter presence towards A compared to their standard default. They're putting 2 more aggressive onto B, and this time it's Mechatronic who's headed towards mid rather than Swayze, who has headed towards B. Going to be trying to look for where Penguin Flops is hanging out, but Penguin Flops isn't up by white, so not quite visible yet. But if Penguin Flops were to walk up, that could be a kill. Now it's a lot of just checking for where there's any information. Skimmix throwing a flash B, and now we're seeing Honor Knees boosted up to watch towards ramp. But the Caracals are starting a little bit of an execute A. Honor Knees trying to use the smoke as a one-way. Just hang out on the hazy edge of it and see if someone's on ramp yet. They're just hanging out at the bottom of the stairs. They're waiting for smokes to fade at this point. That HE hits up Tim, now down to 72. Can be one shot by the FAMAS. Can be one shot by the M4s.
Looks like we're probably going to see a B execute here. 30 seconds left in this round. Here comes utility.
Generator smoke, and we see a slew of Molotovs. Omni's able to pick up one through through the flashbang. Leadbone picks up a refrag onto Penguin Flops, and now 2 left on site. Swayze gets Skimmicks. Heartworm rotates in to pick up 2, and that forces them all to hang out back by Jenny to retake. Brodog gets tagged down through the smoke, and now it's going to be Leadbone and Brodog together. Leadbone catches one up, but doesn't have enough bullets in. Brodog picks up a refrag onto Arnie's, but is forced back. Doesn't have enough health to survive. Razor going through the wallbang to pick up the kill. That's going to be 2 left in the round for Spaghetti's. Now on to 3-6 and swinging the momentum back into Spaghetti's favor as they go into the 10th round here.
Well, it looks like Swayze and Leadbone are really kind of carrying their team at this point. 171 ADR there for Swayze.
Yeah, Swayze 13-6 and Leadbone 11-3. While Swayze's functioning as an entry frag, definitely getting a lot out of it with more kills than there are rounds, but going to be tested here. Skimmicks picking out Megatronic, then going to be tagged off, forced back, but Swayze's running through with the pistol. Well, that gives Leadbone a chance at the off. Goes for 1 shot, manages to back up alive. Now it's on Leadbone to get at 3 on this round. Just whiffs the shot into Penguin Flops. Flops who denies the opportunity, but gets pick up another round in a row. And the Caracal still have a chance at a bye here. Their loss bonus racked up fast enough that they can just keep affording to buy through this. Once again, see the Caracal setting up for a rotate, though Swayze is back at mid, is pushing up a little bit, is searching, and will search for the aggression to find on. He's not quite pushing up past checking jump up at this point. First mollying that off, force checking more angles. The Heartworm goes for the swing onto Leadbone, but Leadbone backs away just first. Arnie's getting tagged out mutually by Swayze. But now they can hear a lot on A. They know where the bomb is headed, but Leadbone can pick up the kill on the Heartworm. Skimmicks is back at mid, though. Picks up a kill back onto Swayze. The mech is running up, going to pick up the kill onto Razor. Still alive, but is tagged up, so you can't continue pushing forward as Skimmicks. Watching ramp and denying more aggression before the smoke pushes them off. Now there's 2 trapped in heaven, 1 able to push through from CT, but Mechatronic is ready for the walk up. Catches off Honorneys on the off angle, and now it's Skimmicks. Mid-sight, knows where Mechatronic is, so is able to pick up that kill. The last 2 are on ramp. You have an op, you don't have the advantage on the peak, and they know it. You have to force them off, and it's all up to them how they respond to the util, which is the only weapon you have left for that. Smoke can force them to push up to check bomb, but it's not good, so they can just peek close. And fortunately, that peek close is good enough to secure the round. Caracal's back onto the side that's winning the rounds, 7-4 for them. And the Spaghettis are forced to a bit of an awkward buy here. Honorneys with 2K going to need to pick up a drop if they want to rifle in the round.
Yeah, Mechatronic really finding that rat spot there on A, up on that little metal side railing.
Yeah, really resourceful to acknowledge that you don't have the health to fight a fair fight, so just choose an unfair one. Even if it's a gamble you would have lost if you didn't take it at that point.
I gotta say, it's one of my personal favorite spots to sit. Guess I play a little bit like a rat myself every now and then, so.
Rats are useful. Do you see actually a much lighter A setup by the Caracals? They seem to be respecting that side a little bit more as they head on to B. Be that because they think that the Spaghettis are on pistols and B is the better site for that, or because they just want to go B this round. It's unclear at this point. Either way, it's going to be on to Penguin Flops to try and lock them out, try and pick up a few. Skimmix actually brings it to a 4-on-5, taking out Swayze's mid lurk. Now it's going to be a bit scarier for the Caracals since, as far as they know, Spaghettis have a full buyout. HE isn't quite going to tag them out, but it is close as the util starts flying. On Penguin Flops picks up the first on the spray down, backs away into their smoke. Now it's a 3-on-5 to take the rest of site. That team flash is going to be awkward, pushes Mechatronic back, gives area back to Skimmix, so able to pick up a third on the round, and now it's all on to Leadbone. Stuck at white, but not yet seen. About to be swung by Penguin Flops, though. Oh, and not quite ready. Didn't recognize the footstep fast enough. That's going to be a 5th for Spaghettis. Now the momentum is fully in their favor as the Caracals are forced off of a proper buy. We see another timeout happening. This one, I can't tell if it's a tech or attack at this point.
Seems like we've witnessed a pretty even split of A and B takes from the Caracals. Would you say that they're stronger on A or B, Firehawk?
I'd say that they're definitely better at holding their B takes afterwards, but they've lost more of their B takes on the way into the round. But consistently when they've taken A, they haven't actually held bomb. They've been put into a 2-on-1 retake where they managed to get lucky that Spaghettis didn't manage to isolate the duels properly into that to bring it a little bit tighter, though that also does say that they've been winning their A takes more often, as they do set up for one here on the save.
Oh, and Razor picks up a shot coming from lower ramp, so he knows there's at least 1 or 2 down there. Looks like they're setting up for a boost peak. Always love this one.
Swayze setting up for a similar boost to watch for a peak.
We're at a stalemate.
At this point, there isn't going to be one coming. The Spaghettis are at this point still happy to just wait on the round. Skimmix just watching towards mid, but there isn't anyone there. As the Caracals start lurking up, Razor's going to start having a chance at being able to see them walk up towards that sandbags. Is the spray going to go through? Is there going to be trigger discipline? And there we go. Razor's chosen to do it. Gets one before dropping off. They back away, but Razor's going down. Wasn't aware of how fast they were going. Skimmix picks up another on the refrag. Heartworm picks up one as well, and now it's all onto Swayze. Has the M4, but there's 4 CTs right next to you. You're not going to survive that any day of the week. Now 6-7 for the Spaghettis.
Yeah, I feel like Skimmix is doing a really good job holding mid, and anytime that we've seen the Caracals go mid, he's picking at least one, which is really forcing them to choose a site and not kind of split mid there where they have more options.
Yeah, absolutely. Do see Caracals back onto a buy. They are a little bit light on utility, but definitely still workable since they're only low on HEs and Molotovs. They have what they need to actually make the execute itself. Once again, we see the Spaghettis with a really passive hold. If they put one aggressive hold here on the last round, that could be really bad for the Caracals since they've simply stopped expecting it at this point. That could be a nail in the coffin that they've prepared, or it could just be something that's not in their playbook yet this season.
Do you think Razor's smoke there on A above ramp was intentional, or?
Based on where that one landed, it's one that's sometimes useful, especially if it lets Heartworm play around it, but I can't really tell. It might have been a whiff smoke that's meant to land a little bit deeper as well. Mechatronic, blinded by both of those flashes, knows about where Razor is, and now they're both ready for a walk-up, but Razor's backing off, and Mecha's getting ready to peek around. But depending on the timing, Razor will be the one to see a gun barrel first. is ready for the lower angle peek first instead. Still advantage towards Razor, but now he knows the execute's coming. That flash has let Mecha come in. Now watching for Leadbone. Sees he doesn't quite get a headshot. Honor's instead going to be the first one picking up the hit. Mechatronic ready for the swing. Brodog picks up the kill first, but then that Molly pushes him back. Now it's going to be Mecha going down after being forced back in. Arnie's picking up another. Now it's going to be a 2-on-2. Bomb's not down yet. They have to rush that down. They only have 5 seconds left. They don't have time anymore. So long as Arnie's can stay alive, he's able to get just by Brodog. And that's going to be the round. Arnie's trying to pick up Brodog right after round to deny the money. And now Brodog's only going to have 1,300 going into the last round of the half. Caracals are very screwed on Nico, and they don't have the luxury of saving for an X.
Yeah, the Spaghettis have really brought this back in their favor, momentum-wise. It's a fickle bitch, if you ask me. Momentum, that is, specifically.
It truly is. All it takes is the right swing of rounds, and those first rounds in a row mean nothing, since the Spaghettis can win those right back. Now they're setting up to try and just take B with speed, where they've won more post plants. And in theory, it's where if you get the site, you're more likely to be able to hold it. Mechatronic, the first one through. Penguin Flops tagged down to 49. Able to take out one still first, but is just rushed through. Arnie's picking up the refrag, though, keeping it an advantage. Skimmich picking up another. Swayze starting to spray towards Skimmix, but Razor takes down Swayze, and now it's all onto Brodog. He needs to get 4 on the round, but Skimmix is not going to let that happen. Spaghettis 8 and 7, and they're going to be taking the advantage going into the second half.
It's going to be really interesting to see what the Spaghettis can whip up here on T side. Still a very close match. Be really good for them to take the first 2 rounds, take those pistols, and get that advantage. But I just have a feeling the Caracals aren't going to let them do that.
Alright. Going into it, we see... Looks like Leadbone's the one buying a kit for the Caracals, while Spaghettis are once again buying a full armor setup. No raid bosses so far, but Swayze from the Caracals actually gets a CT-sided raid boss from Leadbone. It's going to be interesting where Swayze goes and where Spaghettis goes. They put Footsteps ramp. Another execing B. Oh my gosh. Spaghettis, what a strategy. And that's going to tag Mecha down to 8. They're going to pick up site, and then Leadbone's going down as well. Spaghettis get a fast plant. And now Caracals have to come in on the retake. Swayze picks up 1. Not able to pick up a second, but does tag down Heartworm low. It's a 3-on-4. Brodog trying to peek for 1 towards the stairway. Not finding it. Is able to find Heartworm after running back out of round. But now in a 1-on-3. Not quite able to pick up a headshot. It's going to be Penguin Flops from site picking up a second on the round to secure it for the Spaghettis.
The Spaghettis really just picking up some insurance rounds here. That was a pretty good strategy there, hitting the A ramp, making a little bit of noise, throwing the other team off, and then just moving back over to B and
Team
executing
Big One
hard.
getting tagged down at the start. They are going to be running with a classical mid rush. Heartworm is playing far back with Penguin Flops. They're playing a double to make sure that they're at least safe from it, but Brodog managed to get through silently. They weren't quite peeking at the right timing for it. So there's now 3 of them at mid and Brodog on flank. Oh no, Penguin Flops heard the ladder, and that's going to spell another one. Now it's on to Mechatronics to try and pick up another one with a headshot. Not quite able to pick it up, and that's going to be Swayze going down as well. All keeping all 5 up for the Spaghettis. Keeping those AK investments worth it to go into this bonus round. While the Caracals get their buyout.
Just really not giving the Caracals an opportunity there to do anything. Every fight seemed to be a 2v1.
See, Skimmix and Razor getting tagged by Mecha, able to get the dink onto Skimmix, but not quite able to secure the kill. Leadbone throws a smoke down. Position is known, and Razor's up close, but they're both full white. Leadbone's going to pick up the kill. Able to pick up the second as the flash fades off of Mecha's dink and wallbang shot there. And that pushes them back, but Penguin Flops isn't afraid, able to pick up the refrag. Meanwhile, Honor Knees and Heartworm running onto A completely alone. So now Tim knows to back away. Back to A as Penguin Flops goes down, but the Spaghettis are now running back towards B. What is this round? They sent A and B with 2 people each, and now they're running mid with 55 seconds left, and Brodog's already there.
Yeah, it seems like they're just struggling for any opportunity to find an opening in this defense right now.
The Caracal is locked down both sides, so I guess mid is an option, but now you have to win that duel against Brodog, and if he gets 1, that's just the round. You're in a 1-on-3, and Brodog can just back away and force you to pick a site and put you in a 1-on-1 then a 1-on-2. You have 25 seconds. You don't have time to take a site and plant. You do have the money to save, though, so looks like Arnis is going to be staying just in ladder room here and hoping that Brodog doesn't swing, hoping that they don't check ladder room at the wrong time.
Like I mentioned earlier, the Spaghettis really do have a couple insurance rounds here, so giving up 1, it's not the worst possible situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the CTs are a little light here. Oh, take that back. A little late buys. FAMAS coming out on mech.
Yeah. We do see Megatron playing a little bit aggressively with it. Doesn't seem to find it that impactful, but Razor just spots the shoulder blade. Don't know if they recognize it as Leadbone. Takes a few pot shots towards Razor's head. Skimmix goes down right next to him. Now Razor's watching for Mechatronic's peak, just backing away. Checks wood, but Mechatronic's already up. Picks up a little bit of tag damage, backs away before the op can get the refrag. Swayze getting tagged up as well over at mid. And Leadbone following as that HE finds a beautiful mark. Penguin Flops throws smoke. And now they've isolated one side of mid off. Mechatronic gets Heartworm through the smoke though. Now Razor has to try and get a refrag. Isn't quite able to pick it up. Swayze on an off angle, but Leadbone's going to go down first before Swayze can get it, but then picks up the kill through the bars. Mechatronic heads back towards mid as bomb is set up to run up ramp at the last second. Arnie's making footsteps. That's going to call in the last of the rotate since there's only 40 seconds left. Mollied off, and now it's all onto Tim to try and pick up kills. Denied time. Razor mollied off. Now there's only 30 seconds left in the round. They're forced to run back, but they don't quite have enough time to retake B. They have just enough time to get there and plant, so long as Swayze can stall, that's the round. And they're going to be forced into a safe here as they've decided not to rush a site.
Mech doing some work there, picking up 2 kills, 1 through wood there down on lower B. With that, butchering it. Can't think of the name all of a sudden. The FAMAS. Yes, there we go. Always find it interesting when somebody's using a non-standard gun. Firehawk, what's your preferred weapon if you can't purchase an AK or an M4?
The Max 7. Next question.
Next question. Scout's knives or I feel like or aim map.
Scouts knives, absolutely. Aim maps are boring. Speaking of things that aren't boring, the Spaghettis are running a hard rush onto B, and Skimmis is going to pick up a quick kill onto Mechatronic through Leadbone's flash. And that's going to pull rotates over from the Caracals. They're going to set up for a 2-on-5 setup, but they aren't quite certain on this. The Spaghettis have made fast aggression before rotating off in the past. And it looks like they're doing again, but this time, Brodog's already in bottom ramp. He's already on an off angle. They aren't going to be checking quite as quickly this time. The Caracals are running back to A already. But looks like the Spaghettis heard that as well and have decided to make it a double fake? But they're making footsteps that can be heard again. So Leadbone's ready for it, but it doesn't matter as Arnie's picks up the kill faster. Now it's going to be on to Swayze, who has to pick up a kill in the round to keep it alive. Picks up one, picks up a second, starts swinging for the third. Penguin Flops gets it faster. Now it's on to Tim, who's in the retake. Tries to tag down Penguin Flops, isn't quite able to finish the kill. But Brodog from behind managed to pick up the gimmicks. Razor tags down Tim. Now it's all in Penguin Flops in 1v2. Able to tag down Tim, the big one, early. Now it's on to Brodog. Still has a molly, still has util, but is just watching the edge of the smoke here first. Wants to be able to just tag out Brodog, sees the gun, and that's going to be enough to go for the harsh swing. Knows he's lit, and knows that they can pick up a 10th round and bring it back to a tied game for the Caracals.
That's got to be a crushing defeat there. The Spaghettis really had a strong entry there onto B, picking up a couple kills. Just a 5-man Zerg, really. And bringing it down to that 1v1 situation. It's really unfortunate there for the Spaghettis.
Yeah, we see Spaghetti setting up for a Deagle Force. They're going to be heading up ramp here, which the Caracals have double smoked off, which actually ends up making the Spaghettis more confident in their ability to just face this smoke, since you typically don't use a double smoke as a way of getting an advantage on the peak. You typically use that as a do not cross sign. Onnies checks if the smoke can be challenged, but Brodog is watching it, and Tim and Swayze are picking up kills on the round already. Penguin Flops getting a few deagle shots out, but it is able to pick up Brodog. Leadbone getting the refrag though, and now it's all onto Razor. Trying to find a cheeky headshot kill. Just misses the first one. Tim, the big one, isn't going to give you a second. That's an 11th for the Caracals. Going into this next round, we see both sides able to get a full buy. Gimmicks and Mechatronic are the two on the op this round. Interesting that Caracals have decided to set up Mechatronic as their opera. They seem to let that one float around just a little bit. But here we see Swayze pushed all the way up mid, picking up Penguin Flops actually on the off angle. And is able to actually pick up bomb control after finding out where it is. Sees Heartworm there, picks up another. That's going to be disastrous depending on timing. Sees the op through the stairs, picks up another kill onto Razor, and that's going to be 3 on the round for Swayze. On for the ace, depending on what happens here, as both Honor and Gimmicks have been pushed away from bomb. Picks up another, and then picks up the ace! Oh my gosh, Swayze, what was that rush play into T-spawn?
That's pretty aggressive, but it paid off.
You know, I'm glad
impressive.
I said that Swayze was on for the ace at 3 rather than 4, because holy, I would have felt a bit embarrassed if I didn't call that possibility earlier.
Gave a little streamer boost there to Swayze.
Oh my gosh. That
Swayze's
was
got a pretty big
clean.
backpack right now with 28 kills, carrying his team to this victory at the moment. So
Yeah, and those 28 kills have forced the Spaghettis to take a tactical timeout. Just calm down. Do we get our health back when the round resets after that one? Okay, we do. We might still have a chance here. But wait, double check. Heartworm, you still got HP? Okay. Gotta take a second tactical timeout here. That was clean from Swayze.
So what's your opinion here on the head armor? It looks like the CT is all but one, Mechatronic notwithstanding, have head armor going against, the Spaghettis here, who now have AKs, which is one-shot headshot. It seems like a little bit of a waste of money that they could be saving, especially since they're already down in rounds.
They do know the Spaghettis might have a bit of tighter eco, and if they're running Mac 10s or, God forbid, pistols, you want that head armor. So especially if they're carrying those buys through from that time, or just think that the Spaghettis are back onto one, it's absolutely worth it when you have 7K in the bank to buy head armor. When you have the money for it, it isn't necessarily wasted. Especially because it can sometimes make the difference on a map like Vertigo, where you end up having a lot of awkward wall bangs, especially on a ramp. But it's definitely not a bad idea either to say, no, I'm going to be fighting AKs. I'm going to be fighting things that can one-shot me anyway. It's all depending on what you think your opponent's economy is. Looks like it's all going to be... Oh my gosh, clean headshot from Skimmix. Thanks.
It looks
And
like
now
the head armor on Tim there isn't going to save him.
yeah, Swayze does pick up a kill back on Skimmix. Swings back out, but Penguin Flops is ready for it. Now it's a 3-on-4 coming back in. Penguin Flops making that a 2-on-4. And Megatronics has a rotate cut off by Heartworm. Just doesn't know it yet. That's going to be another one. Now it's all on to Leadbone. Caught up in heaven. Just waiting for the Spaghettis to rotate in and hope that their shots don't quite connect in time. As Razor starts to swing in for Leadbone. Is able to catch up the angle and awkward timing. Spray starts to fall apart. Wasn't ready for Leadbone to be up that high, but does recover it before Leadbone can bring it back. And the Spaghettis have brought it back after Swayze. The Swayze does manage to get one in that round as well.
It looks like a hard push here. Well, getting cut off by the molly down on lower B.
Yeah, they are going to be slowed down. That is going to mean Leadbone has a little bit more time to get in position. Swayze's going for it again. Penguin Flops knows to be careful this time and is able to stop it. Fortunately, Swayze has a little bit too much greed after getting that ace the first time from that play. And Penguin Flops knows to be ready for it this time. Now the Spaghettis are actually heading back towards A. Trying to see what they can get out of it, but Brodog is trying to set up to punish them for it as well. Onanis is ready to swing for it, and that's going to be another time the Caracals are punished for being a little bit too aggressive as CT. Molly's going to tag down a few. Tim, the big one, HE, is going to hit Heartworm as well, but not able to pick up too much more before going down. And now it's going to be on Mechatronic and Leadbone here to retake. Mechatronic's close, and Leadbone's all the way back in T. So it's going to just be on Mechatronic here, who seems to just be hiding between their spam. Hit by that flash, but at this point, all just spam util. They don't actually think Mechatronic's there. They're just holding for after round. And then, oh, not quite able to pick up the timing. Thought that there was a flash to avoid first, and now it's going to be on Leadbone to try and pick up a few kills after round on those running away from bomb. Heartworm and Skimmix are low, but they're not going to be running towards you after round quite, so it's looking like it's going to be a pure save unless you take the swing onto them.
Yeah, I don't know if Swayze can afford to be so aggressive and get picked off like that. I feel like that's really going to shut his team down. It's going to give the Spaghettis, some confidence, especially going into a 4v5, knowing that the big carry is not currently going to be able to do anything against them the rest of the round. So just take an A hard. It looks like we have a pause. We don't know what kind, unfortunately.
Yeah, at this point, though, Spaghettis and Caracals are both low on tactical timeouts. 5 of the 8 in total have been used up, and most likely, from my recollection, 4 of them should be from the Spaghettis at this point. see the Caracal setting up a standard A take, and we see the Spaghetti's heading up for a default. Bomb is heading up towards A. Leadbone picks up a first kill onto Skimmix, though. That's going to be some fast aggression. And then Leadbone backs up before it can be traded back out. Razor now checks what the smoke is, and that smoke gives a one-way. Not willing to peek it. Not after you're already in a 4-on-5. And it looks like it's going to be on Swayze at mid. Checking for Heartworm and Penguin flops. Backing up, just trying to play off angles. Trying to get a cheeky advantage here with the FAMAS. Especially going back up on that railing. But that... Oh, that smoke doesn't quite cover it. Is able to pick up one. Is able to cross to safety as well. So now it's going to be Razor. Gets Tim, actually. Gets Brodog as well. Razor almost gets the third, but Swayze shuts it down. Now it's on to Honor and Heartworms in a 2v2. They heard where Swayze reloaded, but they don't necessarily know to check close. So that shot clears it out, but they weren't ready for Mechatronic from behind, and Swayze through the wall. A clean bit of a rat play from Swayze on just the right time and give it to Mechatronic on a refrag. Now their advantage once again, but the Spaghettis still have a better economy even after that loss.
Yeah, the Caracals were in a 4v5 situation, their advantage, and they gave up a lot of space in mid, which the Spaghettis were not afraid to take. Luckily, they came out on top, but it was a dangerous situation for them. Definitely leaving themselves exposed.
Absolutely, and I think we're seeing another tactical on the side of the Caracals trying to figure out their economy, as far as I can tell, though. At this point, it's looking like it might be long enough that it's just edging out to be a technical timeout, which... So I'll be curious what the reason might be. No, it looks like that one was fast enough for a tactical as well. Most likely then it's on the side of Caracal's trying to just piece together their economy. They're in a bit of a rough spot still. Even though they're ahead on rounds, they don't want to edge this out into being a close game by any stretch of the imagination. They wanted to finish this 16-12, not 16-14. Right, we see a smoke heading towards A main, but the Spaghettis are setting up for 5 mid. That's certainly a bold play. If you're putting 5 on Vertigo, it's typically towards ramp, but instead it's going to be Swayze who gets the first bit of a peek. Skimmix is ready for it, and now it's going to be Leadbone who's the next one. Throws a flash to push them back to buy some time. Molly's out mid, Molly on to jump up, and now Tim and Leadbone are ready for that run into A, but they're heading into jump up now. Leadbone not quite able to finish off Penguin flops. Megatron going down right after picking up the kill. Now it's a 2-on-4 on the B site retake. The easier site for the hold, especially in a 4-on-2. But depending on the angles, Tim or Brodog might be able to pick up a bit of a cheeky kill. That HE not quite connecting, but does reveal around where Heartworm is. Razor and Heartworm both getting flashed out. Tim gets a bit of a peek, but Razor backs away just in time. Does go down to Brodog, and now Skimmix picks up a kill, and Heartworm finishes off the round. Now 13-13, and the Caracal's economy has not recovered at all. That's going to most likely swing this to be a easier round for the Spaghettis, who don't even need to rebuy that heavily. Well, the Caracals are forced onto a pistol save. They're going to be playing a bit awkwardly. They have some 5.7s out. They're going to try and use these and play as ratty as they can get away with.
It's been a very strong back and forth. Seems like each team will take one round from the other and then give it back up the next. So it's a very strong game. It's two solid teams.
We see the Spaghettis going for another play of footsteps on ramp before, just walking up with all of their people to go on to B silently. But Mechatronic's on an awkward head angle. If they don't swing this, he can get a dink, but a dink isn't quite enough with 5.7 anymore. Not after the buff. That's going to be a 4 smokes on the same angle. You know, I was expecting with 4 smokes that the entire site would be obscured, but no, it's one angle. Speaking of one angle, 2 CTs lined up for Skimmix, and he managed to pick up one on the second swing here. Swayze trying to watch the fade. This time the smoke's on the other side of Generator, so you can't quite be ready for it. Swayze picks up one in the round. That's 2 down on their save, and Leadbone's from behind. He has an AK. He's able to pick up another. Now it's a one-on-one versus the Opper. Oh my gosh, that was almost close. Skimmix, you had my heart going there for a second after that. But you are able to secure the round 14-13 for the Spaghettis. They still have momentum on their side, though. That round was close enough that the Caracals can definitely swing it back their way.
We're seeing 2 FAMASas come out here for the Caracals, which isn't a good sign, especially with the Spaghettis now taking the lead. Pretty hefty difference here in utility as well.
Yeah, the Caracals are stuck on a tight fight, though they've shown that they can use the Spaghettis util just as well as their own, by just playing on the fringes of those smokes. Heartworm setting up together with Penguin to take mid. Swayze set up on a little bit of back angle, just throws a flash to force util out to force some information. 1 Molotov thrown, 2 smokes thrown late. Now they know that there's 2 mid. Tim knows that 1's down ramp, and the Spaghettis have to continue their setup because they've set up a split. Brodog managed to pick up Arnie's as well. Now it's 5-on-3. Only 1 ramp and 2 from mid. If Swayze can shut them down, that's the round. Speaking of Swayze and Leadbone shutting it down, now it's all on to Skimmix with the bomb. He has to get an ace if he wants to save it. And he's heading back towards B. Heading back towards T now. There's not much you can go to save if there's 50 seconds on the round. Going up towards the ladder room is a good shot, but if they're already there, you're done. So heading back, staying by Jenny, and hoping they don't push you from an angle you aren't quite ready for. As we get 20 seconds left on the round, the Caracals have taken it on an awkward force to try and bring it back and bring the economy back to a more even position. Oh, and that's going to be Mechatronic spotting out Skimmix. Not quite able to pick up the kill the second time. Or the third. Now you're low. Now they're able to rush you through lower. They don't have someone mid, though, so you can just hide a ladder room. Skimmix's 1 saving grace almost dies to fall damage right after round.
Well, there's still an opportunity there if they would have checked ladder room to kill him and really shut that down, deny him the op and the money after round.
Absolutely. I don't like how these players play with my heart. It's not what you're supposed to do. We see the Spaghettis setting up for 5A. They do still have plenty of time to rotate around since the Caracals aren't likely to send Swayze through mid a second time. But they are having Honor Knees check behind them just in case anyway. They don't want to repeat. They want to push this to 15-14. They want to push this to make Caracals be the ones fighting for overtime here. They hear that HE towards mid. They hear that flash. They know that the Caracals don't have a setup yet. So they're continuing to head through. Brodog picks up the first round Heartworm, backs up quickly before anything can come back from it. On her knees is swinging up for it. Penguin Flops and Razor both going down. Now it's a 2-on-4 as Razor picks up a kill of their own. Skimmix picks up 1 with the op, and now On her knees coming in from side hall, but they still have to deal with Swayze on spikes. You can pick up On her knees, and now it's all onto Skimmix again. Forced to save, but this time there's 40 seconds left in the round. This is an easier one to recover from and go into next with. Mechatronic ready in case that gets ran A, which it looks like Skimmix is going to be trying to do, but dying here forces you to try and win a full save. You do see Mechatronic out, so you can get the kill on the shoulder. Now you have to get Leadbone, who's setting a generator, most likely just waiting for that plant to start. Is going to be going just after it, is up close, and that shot isn't quite going to ring off in time. That's going to be 16, most likely in the bags for Caracal, but they still have to win out one last round against the Spaghettis, and they've shown that they can be deadly with their pistols already.
Spaghetti's just doing anything possible here with their Mac 10s. Looks like we got one AK coming out on Scrimmix. A little bit more even spread here on the kills from the Spaghettis. 36 for Swayze on the Caracows.
Yeah, Swayze definitely having a good time. Really high ADR in the second half after the halftime reset, which does throw off the HUD's calculation just a little bit. It's going to be interesting seeing where the Spaghettis try and run this through on their tight eco. They're going to be running in on B. Mechatronic picks up one fast. They smoke off the molly and keep running through. They are forced to pause for a moment. That gives time for the Caracals to put 3 on site. But they are still rushing through. They've confirmed that the op is backed up with that shot. They can hear us from a little bit further back. But Leadbone's still up close, able to get a double spray down. Swayze picks up another, and now it's all onto Razor. Needs to pick up an ace, and Swayze makes sure that's not happening, baby. That's going to be the Caracals taking the win, 16-14, and denying overtime. Really well played on their behalf, especially by Swayze dropping 38 and 14, or 38 and 19, getting a 2 throughout the game. Camps, what do you think about that match?
I think it was a really strong showing from both teams. I think we could have seen it go the other direction just as easily. You know, just really unfortunate there on the money for the Spaghettis at the end. You know, I think personally, I wanted to see them to win that round, take it into OT, and see what they could do, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking forward to that OT, but instead, well, everyone watching can look forward to heading over onto the A stream. I believe they're going to be planning on doing a demo VOD and then another VOD from tonight as well, right after they finish up their matches here. So go check them out right after we close here. I've been Firehawk, joined by Camps Together Casting and the lovely Aiden, showing us all of the action tonight. Thank you for watching.
Save me from the side of myself. I cannot look away. About to crash into my face. Just another day on the shelf. Pull me from my silhouette. Years have been astray. Now a broken shell remains. I cannot embrace what I regret. Round and round, around I go. The spinning makes me ill. An image held inside the very world I build. Please help me now, 'cause I can't even feel enough to know if I get out. I'm numb to the pain, but hollow without. Floating in a world of glass, I can imitate. Got a smile worth its weight. When the mirror breaks, there's someone else. Round and round, around I go. The spinning makes me ill. A hostage held inside the very world I build. Please help me now, 'cause I can even feel enough to know if I get out. Will I allow another friend to try and help and fail on my account? I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a cold